Stampers, Kim from stampingandperfection.com. Welcome to my craft room. I wanted to share an idea that I got from Stampin' Up! Has a magazine that they send to demonstrators. It's full of ideas. Every 2 months we get this magazine, and it had this amazing background idea in it for a card. They started with the craft stock, the crumb cake, which is just like the craft paper. So this is crumb cake cardstock. I cut it at 5.5 by 8.5, scored it at 4 1/4, and folded it with my bone folder. Then I'm taking some washi tape, and this happens to be the Gingham Gardens that is retiring. So I'm probably not going to use this as much as some of the other stuff. So then you're just going to take this washi tape. Here's another great use for your washi tape. And you're just going to put it diagonally across. And you want to just make sure that when you tear it off, you don't leave sections of that showing. So I'm just going to try to evenly space it. And I'm kind of lining it up with my grid paper. And then you can tell when you have it straight or not, if it has any wrinkles in it. So you can get it fairly straight. I think I'd like it a little closer than that. So I'm going over about every 3 squares or so on my grid paper. So I'll just rip this off. And I'm just going to create this diagonal stripe look. So I'm just going to continue doing this till I have my whole thing covered. You could, if you're really fussy about it, you could measure these more carefully than I'm doing, and make sure you're getting them a lot straighter than I'm probably going to end up getting them for the perfectionists out there. And I'm just going to continue covering this just like this all the way to the corner, like that. Okay, once you have that done, and now I kind of also have it held in place on my paper, I'm going to take my Whisper White pigment ink. This is the craft stamp pad, and I have my sponge, and this is the sponge I save for my Whisper White. And I'm just going to sponge over the top of this. I'm just going to try to get it, colored in as evenly as I can. Now this craft pad, this craft ink, takes a little while to dry, so once I get this done, I'm going to give it some time to dry. You can do this in a circular motion if you want. You just want to kind of cover it as evenly as you can. When I saw the card, I actually thought it was specialty paper, and that it was a new paper that they were coming out with. I thought, oh, I really like the look of that. And then I read a little bit more carefully, and it turns out that this is a pretty simple technique that doesn't take a lot of supplies to actually accomplish. So there you go. Then you're going to let that dry. Again, the craft ink takes a little bit of time to dry, so let it dry for a bit. Then you're going to carefully peel off your washi tape. Just like that. How great does that look? It's such a quick and easy background to a card, and imagine all the different ways you could decorate this. This actually would make a cool masculine card stamp, a background for a card, there's so many different cool things you could do with it. So I'll show you the card that I made. Now, mine is not exactly like the one they have in the magazine. I don't have my blendabilities yet, and I don't own Copics, so their coloring was a lot more sophisticated. But that is the background that you end up with. Isn't that fabulous? It's so quick and easy. Here's the card that I ended up with. This is the Love You to the Moon stamp set from the Occasions catalog. This is available only until May 31st, and then it goes away. I stamped that in the rose red, one of the little images, and then I cut it out with my apothecary. Now, I keep calling these apothecary. accents, but they're the Chalk Talk framelits and my Big Shot to get this shape. And then I just attached it to my card. Okay, and I didn't try to do anything fancy with it there. Okay, and then I stamped 3 large images in StazOn, the black StazOn ink from the Flower Shop stamp set. And then I stamped 3 smaller ones in black StazOn from the Petite Petals stamp set. And those 2 stamp sets are fabulous because they each come with a coordinating punch. This is the Pansy punch, and this is the Petite Petals punch. So you can have it makes really quick work of making these images. And what I did basically was I colored them in with my aqua pen, and I used Daffodil Light, Rose Red, Tangerine Tango, and then I made one small green one with Old Olive. So those were the colors I chose. After I punched them out, I put a Stampin' Dimensional on the larger, and I didn't do a spectacular job coloring these in with my aqua painter today, and I do have a video on how to do that. Then I took 3 of my smallest pearls. I just snipped these apart, and I put 3 pearls in the center of each one. So I just layered a smaller floral image on top of the larger larger floral image. So I just layered a smaller floral image on top of the larger floral image with the dimensional, because I really like the dimension, and that's what they had in the picture. And then I'm just going to attach these to the cards. I have a dimensional on the back of each one of these, so I just attached them kind of randomly. I had a lot of white space over on this side of the card, so I put 2 over here, and then I just put 1 up here. And then I took some linen thread, and I just created this little thing right here. And basically, I just took a glue dot on the end of my linen thread, on one end of my linen thread like this, like that, and I just looped it maybe 3 times. And I tried to get the loops all in the same directions. I tried to make them different length loops. And just cut it off. I just want it to look kind of random. And I just peeled this off and stuck this underneath the pink one on this side, just like that. So that was underneath there. I actually put that down first. And then with this green one, I wanted to make some green leaves, so I just cut a couple petals off like this. I used a glue dot on the back, and then I slid that under, creating the illusion of leaves. And I did the same thing on the other side. Just snip them. I'm not doing anything fancy, and I'm not making this a lot of work. Trying to keep it as simple and quick as possible. Probably want that sticking out just a little bit more. And I'll use this one on my yellow one. I feel like it needs a little green toward the center here. There you go, and that gives you a very quick and simple card with a fabulous background. How fun is that background? I just couldn't wait to share that with you. So enjoy that. Thanks for watching. Stop by my blog at stampingimperfection.com. And if you're looking for supplies, you can shop online at mystampingstore.com. Thanks for watching.